Mic test, mic test. Oh yeah, looking good. Mic test. Oh yeah, looking good. We'll be starting here shortly, y'all. How now, brown cow? Hello, hello. Ha, who, he, who, ha, who. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stuff. Woo! What's going on, y'all? Happy Friday. It's the end of the week. We live. It's right before 11 o'clock, 5/19/2023. I am Z Rex. This is No Noise. Welcome. Hope your week was amazing, and I hope your weekend's even better. It's been a beautiful week down here in Central Texas. Just sipping on some delicious tea. I got a little re-up from this morning. Hopefully you're drinking your favorite drink too while we check out some chart action, price action, and let's get it in. Nerd out time. Well, at least that's what I consider nerding out for me. I also do like video games too, but Trading in video games are actually kind of similar. I don't know if there's any gamers out there that maybe would agree with that, but it is what it is. Who cares about that? Let's talk about some price action. Mama Bear. What did Mama Bear do for Wednesday's close? Oh, actually looked pretty good, but then got engulfed yesterday. But look where it engulfed to, like right at the freaking base of this little swing low. So yet again, more sideways, more lollygagging. I guess the worst part about this that you could argue for the Bears is that we are just kind of camping below this range, and we haven't been able to muster up, or Bulls haven't been able to muster up any strength to get back up over this, about 27.8 or so. That seems to be kind of like the major area just below 28,000. And if we go like to a weekly, you can kind of see that here, right? It's about 28K where a lot of these bodies are. And then if we go to the monthly, which is actually pretty important right now, is because we went bullish on the monthly last week. We had our first open and close above the 21 EMA, which hasn't happened in a long time, probably all the way back since COVID. Yeah, since COVID days over here in 2020. So it's been a hot minute. And now we're kind of just coming back below the 21 EMA. Now, again, we do have that major support at 24,000 handle. Nothing's changed there. That's all fine and dandy. But this is interesting. I would like to see, we do have 12 days left. I would like to see Bulls be able to close above 27.8. And that's also why I brought up this chart real quick to show you that 27.8 level is definitely very important. And we can just round it to 28,000, whatever. We don't have to split $200 hairs in Bitcoin. That doesn't really matter. But at the $28,000 level seems to be the resistance. We are just grinding down this trend line. You can also see this trend line cross is holding up price on the downside. So we're like in this super compressed zone right here. Pretty much the 26,000 handle by itself is a very big area of contention. We don't really have big momentum. Bears tried to get it last Friday. Didn't really get no follow through on that. So they're back in the neutral zone. Bulls are in the weak zone for what it's worth. Let's zoom down a little bit to the 458. See if we got any clues here. My chart will load. Yeah, we do have some bearish dominance on the 458, so that's noteworthy. And we are kind of getting the 200 starting to look like it wants to roll over, just ever so slightly. I mean, it's mostly flat, but it is starting to gain a slightly negative slope. And, that just reiterates the importance of, this mid 20,000 area. Sub 26, we probably test 24 and then have to reassess, but nothing's really changed in this week's videos. Just kind of the same shit, different day here. Barely holding up on this hammer candle. It's just kind of like, man, they're just bleeding us out with time here, the market, isn't it? Mr. Market's like, how long can you wait to go sideways? Apparently for a long time. Futures not really showing anything, just showing that major support. Every single moving averages within $500 of each other. You don't see that very often. So really also hammering that 26,000 as a super critical area for the shorter term, and it's 24 for the macro for the longer term. Not really anything good on GBDC. Let's zoom in a little. Yeah, just kind of lollygagging, nothing really there. Jeez, what the hell? Ethereum sideways as hell. What is this? Day number 10 of a $25 range. Well, that's exciting. So until anything breaks out of this, we're just hurry up and waiting. Above mid 1700 handle looks fine. Obviously has that mega resistance in the mid 1800s, and then the macro resistance at 2000. Nothing's changed on that chart, so we can just kind of move on from that. You already know the drill. Oh, hold on. Let me see one thing real quick. On the daily has the slope up. Weekly, the slope never went down. 458. I'm just kind of looking at longer term slope analysis. It's still up. The slope of the 200 is almost more important to me than the actual 200. And by the slope, I just meant like the angle, or like if it's kind of going up or down overall in like the longer period of time. Because usually when it's just going down, you can pretty much sell every rally they're going to get dumped into. And that kind of works on like most tradables too, specifically with the 200. The 200 is used by lots of longer term investors and institutions and stuff for a reason, for sure. Litecoin. Look at Charlie. Charlie Lee is over here doing 3 white soldiers. We ended up getting that pattern. We were kind of looking at it on Wednesday. We do the stream a little earlier, so they don't close till that evening of the stream. But that is pretty good. We got 3 white soldiers, and we're actually kind of camping in the top part of the last soldier there, inside of the box. This actually looks pretty damn good. I don't. Charlie Lee is the most bullish looking of all the coins, which is pretty hilarious. Although I do think that, did Litecoin kind of lead the market off this low? I kind of feel like it did. See if my memory serves me correct. Yeah, over here in October of 22. Let's go to Bitty Bits. Yeah, it did. See right here. So you had October 22 is right here, and we had a little dump. This is like the trap before the pump here. But Litecoin took off from there and never dumped below its local lows there. So pretty interesting. So my memory did serve me correct. So Litecoin led the market last time. Is it going to lead it this time? That would be pretty funny. So maybe Litecoin's mama bear now. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, this would look really good if this weekly just closes and engulfs all these EMAs and the trend line. Obviously, the major resistance at that nice round number at 100. But this looks pretty damn good, and I really like this as long as it stays above the upper 80s. Very sexy chart. Ethereum Classic, whatever. Coming into this trend line. Eventually, price is going to have to do something besides go mostly sideways. We do have this trend line right beneath us in the upper teens, and so I guess it's still okay. Definitely not my favorite looking chart. Mega support at like 15 handle. We start getting comfy in or below 15 handle. Watch the hell out. Oh, look at XRP is trying to get bullish here. Very nice. Okay. A little slop here, not as pretty soldier pattern. Usually you want the bodies to be even. So you don't really have that quite yet. But this is pretty nice. Bouncing perfectly off this 200, getting back over the EMAs. This actually looks pretty good. All we'd like to see now is the DMI get in the power zone. And this thing would kind of be in full bullish mode. And for the power zone, that probably is going to need to get over this 48 cents. That was kind of the previous support level before 42. So 42 is kind of the one right now. 48's resistance. We start getting over 48, the power zone for the DMI bulls kicks in. And I would be looking for another test up here in the low 50s. And then obviously there is mega resistance at that top of the range. And if we look at the weekly, you can clearly see that at about 55 pennies. But this is pretty nice little pattern right here. I just wish this was a little bit higher of a high than just kind of even. But hey, we are still making higher lows, so not terrible on Brad Garlic Bread. Not so good on XLM, just kind of lulling right around the 200. Like right in the middle of all this business, just very confused. Sub 8.5, not great, but it's really 9.5, 8.5 is the range for now. Tron is trying to make it here. It still looks okay. Is this turning into like a double, triple top? Maybe. This is kind of like an ugly saucer too at the top of the range. Still looks pretty good above 69 cents. Actually, 6.9 cents, sorry. But you already know it has to be a meme number. Above 7.2. 7.2 is kind of the major resistance. We get above 7.2, we can start looking for, about 8.5, and then ultimately working our way up to this target up here at about 10 cents. Nice round number too. Oh, back on Litecoin, just to kind of put back on these the soldiers here. We actually have, since this has a special kind of, let me just take it off real quick and show you. Since this has like some special coating, paint, and color, all the way up to Tuesdays, and then now we're camping on the top of said soldiers. That's actually pretty sexy. So again, I just wanted to reiterate that I really do like what Litecoin's doing here. Charlie looks really good above about 87, 88 bucks. And these the white soldier pattern isn't like the best pattern, but it does lead to counter trend rallies to range. Like usually, I think it's like 80% of the time or something like that. So we'll see if we get that. It only needs another $8 to do that, and then we'll see how strong them soldiers really is. Let me put this back on. Let's go back over here. Let's go back over to ADA. Man, look at this. This is grinding up this trend line pretty nice, all between the EMAs. I do actually like this. Still above 3.5. God damn it, not 3.5. 35 pennies. Pretty decent. I mean, it is making higher highs, higher lows now on the weekly. So bulls are trying to base on this. Let's go to Link. Oh, Link ain't doing shit. Man, whatever. Link is just in this big range, clearly visible. We don't even really have to say anything else about that. Whoa, EOS is trying to break the F down here. Uh-oh. Dang, dude. Look at this. Barely on the edge. Bulls tried to defend it, or they have defended it so far from last Friday. This thing got back below 86 cents. I'd be very cautious on this. That would look pretty nasty. Just barely holding on right now. Bitcoin Cash knocking on the outside, knocking on the door of the bottom end of this range, right on the outside of it. About 120-ish, a little shy of 120. Just kind of lollygagging. There just isn't much to add from really, there isn't much to add for most of this whole freaking year. We had the pump, and then we've just been going sideways since then. We've had the January pump, and then the rest of the year lulls. Super fun, isn't it? BSV trying to hold on to this kind of body low, about 32 handle. Below that, this starts to look pretty nasty. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, whatever. Just still getting grinded by the 21. Nothing really there. XMR, at least no new information anyway. XMR, oh, look at this. We are getting double vol flashes from yesterday and today right on a trend line. That's actually pretty interesting. I like that. I would actually look for this to make some upside moves given this is a directionless indicator, the historical volatility, but given that it's sitting right on top of this trend line that has been well respected since the low was put in it last summer, this is a pretty interesting spot. Man, and again, hopefully we're coming out of this compression and this is signaling get ready for big moves. I know most people are ready for price just to do something, whether at this point it's up or down. All right, let's go to ZEC. Hey, look, bulls trying to wake up a little bit off of this 32 handle. Not bad. Still way down here in the trenches. Major support at 29. There's nothing really too new about this except these two candles. Bulls trying to do it, but man, they're still below everything. The 22. We do have a little vol flash here. Oh, man. All right, so if we're going to start seeing vol flashes across many assets, this is, I like that. We've been looking for resolution this month sometime. I do think May is going to be a really important year for the close. And we'll see. Keep an eye up here on the historical volatility, see if we keep seeing that. Pretty nasty. Bears still in control here. Rallied right to the 21 daily rejection. And we're just lollygagging. The Bears don't have like a lot of momentum though. We're very, very neutral here via DMI. Let's jump out to the weekly. Yeah, I mean just in the freaking sideways mega range that we've been in for a long ass time. Yay. Doge. No, it's breaking down. Don't you do it. Shiba, we love you. Still looks really good off this hammer candle. Bulls are doing what they're supposed to do so far. Offset hammer candle off the 666 low. And we are just kind of, it's not exactly 666, but that's where this horizontal's at. Splitting hairs, I guess, once again. That don't matter. It's got to be close-ish, right? You can see over here too. Anyway, I digress. Going up here off that hammer looks really good. Obviously, this mega resistance in the upper 7s. We can clear back up into the 8-cent handle. That would look super sexy for Doge, and I would probably be looking for test upwards of 10 if that were to happen. On the downside, back below 7 cents would start to look ugly. Even if this started just dribbling slowly, would start to look ugly. And ultimately, you'll already know 666. Stack, speaking of 6-6 and almost 3-6s, it's attempting to break out here. Pretty weak sauce, though, right underneath the daily, below all this business, right above here. It's just this stupid range in between the long and short-term moving averages. I hate when price is in this position. It just makes it really difficult to trade. Usually it's 50-50 at best which way this breaks in this kind of situation. So nothing really too cool there. TrueFi looking pretty nasty below 5 pennies. It actually is kind of one of the not so sexy charts, that's for sure. Did a great pump earlier in the beginning of the year and pretty much has shit all that out by now. Radix just barely holding on, just kind of chilling here. About 69, 6.9 cents, of course. That's what it is. Is that really this low too right here? It is. If you look up right here, it literally is the low. 693. Of course it is. What else would it be, y'all? Anyway, so as long as it's holding 69 cents, is it right here too, 69? Oh, no, okay, it's 7, exactly, 7 flat. So as long as it's holding it's fine. We get below there, though, you can probably look for the 5 handle. Hex trying to just consolidate here after Pulse Chain launched and all that crap. It's just lollygagging, not really doing anything. Nothing to really add there. V-Chain, yeah, nothing really sexy here. Just still below all the major averages. Really needs to get back above 2 cents to start looking a little bit better. Atom is not looking that great either. Just slowly freaking bleeding out here. Man, if it loses 10, 30 again, watch out below. Maybe a little bit of love at 10 cents, or 10 cents, sorry, $10, but not really great. Really needs to clear back above into the 11 handle. Osmos is dying. It's in black hole mode. We're cautious of this when back over here in these streams and this open and close, that if we got open and closes below this swing low at about 69 cents, of course, then we would go into price discovery mode, which this unfortunately is to the downside. So this is black hole price discovery, not blue sky where you break out to the top end. This is black hole discovery, abyss discovery for price. So is this the longest bump and run pattern here? I don't know about that. It's probably technically broken. But yeah, it looks pretty shitty below 69 cents to keep it short. Ton kind of just bleeding out, finding a little support over here on this consolidation. So it's okay above like 180s, but as y'all know, I haven't really liked this since it broke $2. Sub $2 looks pretty shitty to me. Don't really like it. Start getting back above 2, I like it. This is where we have good updates for actual price action, breaking stupid ranges. Finally, you'll know we've been watching this for too long sideways. We're above 4,200 now. We had a nice candle yesterday. Bulls really came in with some strength trying to get up over 42. They did it just barely. And now here we are trying to do an open and close above 42. This actually looks pretty good. I know we've been waiting for some kind of resolution on this sideways action for the SP to the X. I really like this weekly, actually, how this is crossed up, chronological order, this weekly closing up above pretty much 42. It'd be a little better if it was not just 4 points, maybe like, above this little swing wick high, which is what, 42.08. So we get like 42.10 and up and like really engulf all this price action except for this little guy. That's highly doubtful that we do that today. But we're getting some resolution. So finally, everything is awesome again, I guess. But it's a little bit confusing, I will say, is because we're breaking out here. The dollar's rallying really hard. The VIX is still up. The bonds are crashing. And we're approaching that 370 area on TNX, which usually implies more rate hikes, which also with the dollar rallying is implying that too, with gold and precious metals backing off. So it's like, I guess rate hikes might be good now. I don't know. This market is just super crazy. That's why I don't like to get too wrapped up in news crap and all that shit and the cycles of news, because price trumps all that crap by infinity pretty much. So, but 4,200, y'all know we start getting a weekly open and close like this next week above 4,200. That would be super bullish, and I'd be looking for 44 if that were to happen. And look at this, y'all. What? Lollygagging above the breakout range, that 13.3. We camped above it for a little bit, and then we got pump fest. Now, what is very odd is we are getting a vol flash at the top of a breakout. That's pretty rare and kind of odd. I'm not sure how to really digest that one there. Usually those happen like kind of in this type of price action. So kind of interesting that we're getting a vol flash at the very top of this breakout. Nonetheless, a very, very sexy looking candle here by NASDAQ, which is weird because, again, if we're thinking rates going up with dollar and all that, like tech stocks are very sensitive to higher rates, usually not being good for them. And here we are rallying. It just doesn't matter what news really is. You just never know how the market's going to digest it. And earnings, if you ever watch earnings, it's a great example of all that. Sometimes you can have blowout earnings, it's amazing and everything, and then the stock crashes freaking 10%. It's like, oh, what the hell? Anyway, this could very well be a basing pattern. This is starting to look pretty damn, and we are getting a nice weekly candle that's taking out this August swing high. We haven't got that yet on ES, right? That's still up here at about almost 43. But for tech stocks, they're saying, let's go. They're saying, let's do this. But what about the Dow? Nope. We got bifurcation everywhere. Nope. Nothing there. I do like, well, technically I do like Wednesday's candle close that engulfed the attempt by the bears to sell off to the bottom end of this range. Bulls said, nope, shut them down. And then we took out the last two EMAs and are attempting to get into this next range between 33.5 and 34.3. So that's actually a pretty good move by the bulls. Let's get rid of this line here. We don't need that anymore. But the real thing that matters to me is the Russell. Until the Russell breaks out, well, I don't want to say breakout because it's pretty deep, off the highs. But until, let's say, it breaks out over 18, if we start seeing that, then I'll get pretty damn bullish on normie markets. But you can see today we rallied right up to 1800 and sold off immediately, like 20-something points. And if we zoom in, we can really clearly see that. Look at this. Rally right when the market opens. Doji at 1800 pretty much, 18.3, whatever. And then immediate dump fest. So again, reiterating that 1800 area is very important. Now, this Wednesday candle, like the Dow candle, actually does look pretty good for an attempt by the bulls to reverse course here, but really got to get over that 1800 level. Super important level. The trannies, what are the trannies doing? They're just going sideways in this little falling wedge kind of thing. Got to break this trend line, really get back over 14.2. Of course it's 14.2. What else would it be? Oh, snap. We're getting follow through on the Euro market. Wow, this is all-time highs. Holy snakes, dude. We got all-time highs right now in the DAX. That's actually pretty freaking bullish overall. There's a lot of shared companies with like S&P and stuff at DAX, and DAX it's like literally at an all-time high right now. Wow, that is pretty impressive. Let's see what these little swing highs are. About 16,275. And I mean, to be fair, we're like literally hovering right on that. I would like to see next week confirm that and stay above this kind of attempted breakout zone. And by above, I mean like an open and close above this body, which is, let's just call it 16.2. We get an open and close above 16.2 next week. That would actually look pretty damn sexy for the bulls. China just back in its stupid range. Y'all can clearly see that range there. Nothing to add there. Oh, look, 666. The VIX is at 1666. Of course it is. That's cool. Nothing really there. It's just clustering in this little range. I'm surprised, though, with this rally that the VVIX is still rallying and staying up close near 100, like banging on the 100 door. That is very odd. You don't see that very often. So with that and the vol flash on NASDAQ, very interesting price action. Good if you just look at it by themselves, for NASDAQ or whatever, and the DAX looks pretty damn good. But just kind of odd that VVIX is up, VIX is up, the dollar's rallying. We're about to cross 370 on TNX. Just pretty interesting. Maybe we are getting a shift in the market regime. Just kind of clustering here on VIX. Let's go to oil. Oil is just trying to get back in this blue box range. 73 bucks. Really needs to get back above 73. Range is pretty much like 68 to 73. But you can see it's already getting worked by that 21. We do have some pretty bearish setup on the daily. The weekly, though, man, is between long and short-term moving averages. And, there's mega support in the upper 60s on oil. Really, you'd have to take out this swing low, which is close to 69. It's not quite 69. I know. We're sad. Don't be sad. It's okay. But right at 69 bucks, not too shabby. Nat gas. Look at this, y'all. It's happening. It finally freaking happened. We've been watching this. We watch all these every day pretty much. But we've been talking about this one a lot, that this has been the best Momo that Nat Gas has had in freaking a long time, probably in well over a year. Here we are coming up off this low. This is starting to look pretty damn sexy. Now, will this be a false breakout? Just getting barely over the 55 that happened back over here, and then it rolled over. It rolled over a little bit, right? But this actually looks really good now above 250. That's the target we were looking for as the next resistance. Looks like we're just blowing past through that. 250, man. We get back below 250, we probably just come back in this stupid range and dribble down. Maybe make a higher low, but this actually looks really good above 250. Very nice for the bulls on Nat Gas. Following that T-Leaf TA real well. Breaking out of the range here, T-bonds, the futures. We got the 30-year printed up here, and we are going down, down, down. So as the bond market's saying, more rate hikes? I don't know, man. But with that, call it that instead of 370 because that's cooler. But yeah, you can see that's interesting that we went right above it for a little bit today and then came back under it. So that's reiterating how important that 369 level is. And we've been talking about that level for most of this year too. That's a pretty critical pivot point. Dollar rallying hard, came right up to that 103 handle, getting a little bit of sell pressure here. Pretty swift move off these lows, but looks really good though above like 102.60. Gold, not so great. We got an open and close, a few of them now below 2,000, getting a little bit heavy here. Back below 2K, it's not really that good, y'all. Unfortunately, sometimes you got to switch. It looked real good back here. This looked real good, staying above 2,000. Now we're below 2,000. Momo is actually picking up for the bears. This actually is not looking too good, y'all. I wouldn't be surprised to see gold just kind of dribble back down to the 1900 area. Silver barely holding on to, close to that 2420 area, but sub 2420. Yeah, that kind of sucks. It's equivalent to gold's 2000. Now, could you argue on the weekly chart that this actually is a pretty decent retest of the 21 on a higher time frame? Absolutely. If we could actually close today, this weekly above 2420 with a hammer candle, I would actually like that a lot for the bulls. That would look pretty damn sexy. You can actually see the what is the high of this? Almost this candle is 2420, 2418. So gold looking a little bit worse. Yeah, I mean, because it still has a little bit ways to this 21. But you could argue that for silver, this is just a liquidation break on an attempted breakout. So let's see what we get next week on that. We start getting back below this little tail, though, man, at 23.5. Ew. Platinum, just lollygagging. Looks fine above 1050. Below 1050, not so great. And look at this. Palladium still making higher highs, higher lows. We have a very nice defined trend line right here. Boom, 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 bam. 1640 major resistance, but hey, good reaction so far. I do kind of like how Palladium's been playing out. And I think that's it. Let's jump over to our blockchain stuff. Yeah, lollygagging here. Below, man, 330, y'all know is that pivot point. We're like right below it. So really would like to see the bulls get back above 330 on this. All right, core sideways. And let's just look at sectors real quick. Yeah, energy's up, but that's about it. Yeah, very interesting, man. So you got TNX rallying hard. You got some stuff breaking out. You got the Russell still struggling. Let's go look at KRB and KBE real quick. See what they're doing. They rallied pretty hard, but just to the 21 and now getting kind of rejected. So a lot of stuff all over the place. Interesting week for sure. Attempted breakout ranges. Let's see what we get next week. We can get some follow through on NASDAQ and DAX. And just kind of also Litecoin. See if Litecoin, if Charlie Lee takes us to the moon. It appears to be the case so far. Hey, he did it last time in October, like we said earlier. It actually literally led the market. So pretty funny. Maybe we're doing it again. Charlie Lee for the win. But yeah, this month I think we will get resolution on a lot of these consolidations. So just kind of be vigilant out there because we got some weird kind of price action. VIX still staying bid. Just the rates getting close to 370. Just kind of some interesting stuff here. So without anything else, I don't see any tickers in there. I think we're all good. Much love, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I hope y'all have a beautiful weekend. I hope y'all have a beautiful weekend and a happy Friday. And we'll see y'all on Monday morning. And we'll see if maybe we also got some crypto moves over the weekend. Yeah, right. That never happens. They just go sideways on the weekends. So watch my foot in mouth happen off of that comment. We'll see. If it does, we can laugh about it on Monday. If not, whatever. Don't matter. Again, much love, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see y'all on Monday. Have a great weekend. This has been Z-Rex, No Noiz, signing out. Peace.